It's going to be unbelievable. The fans, everybody.
Conor, the Destroyer Benn, one of the most exciting and electrifying fighters in the world today. It's the Mexican monster.
This bout is scheduled for 8 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner, introducing from Essex, England, a continental welterweight champion, Conor, the Destroyer Benn. Fighting out of the blue corner, from Phoenix, Arizona, an all-action, exciting, 2-division champion of the world, known as the Mexican Monster, David Benavidez.
Expectations are sky high for this fight. Will it live up to the hype? We're about to find out.
Todd, I'm going to stay here till the end of the night because if you're a fight fan like me, this is what I live for.
What a great venue and what a great matchup. Cannot wait for this one. And we're off and running between these two really accomplished fighters. Let's see how they come out. They block that jab. It doesn't always pay to be first. It pays to be last. Nice defense with that jab. A lot of trash talk between these two fighters. Now it's time to put up or shut up.
You can walk into an arena and be the hero. The pressure, the expectation, the desire from the fans. You can't get away from it. Ignore them. Lock it off. I know it's hard. I can hardly hear you, Todd. You've got to ignore them. Get on with your job.
What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
Both want the knockout. Just missed with that hook. Punch, counter punch. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Perfect counter shot. That counter punch caught him clean. These two fighters are made for one another. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Benn in that last round. At this point, you got to believe he can't win on the score. And there's the bell for round 2. It has been all one-way traffic. How do they turn this around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him. Tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Nice counter shot. When you're fighting a counter-puncher, the feint can be such a good weapon. Pretend you're going to punch, make the counter-puncher throw a punch, and then you counter them.
Counter-puncher is my favorite kind of fighter. A good counter-puncher, they're the people that make the history of our sport.
This is some of the best action I've seen in any round, anywhere this year. Gotta like what you're seeing as we reach the halfway point of this round.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy. Catch
and shoot. Nice counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. Missing with that jab. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Let's talk about Benn in that last round. Well, he is in big trouble. On to the third. Well, they got battered last round. How do they turn their fortunes around?
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Failing to score with that right hook. The straight right just misses. That counter punch caught him clean. Every time they throw a shot, they get countered. Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
When are we going to see a jab from these two? The Mexican monster's in trouble. And it appears the onslaught is over, at least for now.
Benavidez now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Benn in that last round. And a round that seemed like eternity. On to the fourth we go. Off their stools and ready to go. Let's hope this round is more competitive.
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab. Rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Nice defense with that jab. Looking to land the hook. That jab won't score. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill. Tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you. And so...
Whoa, Johnny, out of nowhere. Look at this. And that big shot just rattled his cage. Benn has no idea where he is right now. Hold on a second, Johnny. Did you see that? David Benavidez might be ready to go. He somehow weathered the storm.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What are they going to do? What are they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Nice counter. Let's talk about Benn in that last round. What would you tell this guy? And there's the bell for round 5. Let's see how they bounce. As you can see, it was a hit to the head that did it. Let's watch it again.
I need to see that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They got knocked down, but didn't stay down. Once again, showing you how much grit and courage this fighter has.
He's up, but for how long? Look at her. On the heels. Look at, it's nothing there. There's no defense. The eyes are glazed. It just takes one more clear shot. A clean one. Then he's out of there.
This is one of the best rounds I've seen this year. Misses with the straight left. Down goes Benn. Let's see that again.
That's lights out right there.
At some point, the corner may have to intervene here because this fighter won't stay down.
Somebody can smell blood here. They can smell blood. They've got to be smart. Get in there. Then boom, back in the same spot again. It happened once. You got away with it. You can do it again.
Ten seconds to go, and what domination we've seen in this round. Survival time for David Benavidez. Let's talk about Benn in that last round.
They believe.
And there's the bell for round 6. We're hoping for an all-action slugfest. They ring the bell, and here we go. Good defense there to stop that hook. I think it's safe to say one of these fighters certainly has a significant speed advantage. You can tell who it is.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's where the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
You gotta let your hands go a little bit. It's okay to be aggressive now. Swing and a miss with that uppercut. The work rate is down. The head isn't moving as well, Johnny. Fatigue is starting to set in.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Time they drop their guard, they get caught. He misses with that straight left. Everything looks better in slow motion. Let's take another look.
I've got to see that again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can you continue?
Let's talk about Benn in that. Here comes round 7. They barely survived the last round after 2 knockdowns. Let's see what happens here. This is the kind of fight you expect. You can only take so much, and this guy wants no more. And that will do it. This fight is over. They have given up.